Probably gonna mix it up a little bit, so go ahead and take out your Chromebooks or your cell phones and go on to Khan Academy. You're gonna need to change the topic, so go back to, I'll show you. You're gonna go to geometry. You need to make sure, this is geometry foundations, but you wanna make sure you go to high school geometry. And most of what we've been doing is Intro to Euclidean Geometry under Geometry Foundations, but you're going to look for the topic heading of Analytic Geometry, which is right here. Once you're in Analytic Geometry, the first one is Distance and Midpoint, so these are the two practice problems that you need to do. If you're struggling, there are several videos here you can watch, or you can watch my videos online. Where are we? We're here. Okay, so those are the two that you need to take at this point, and your scores will automatically be sent to me. All right, so today we're going to learn how to apply the distance formula to calculate the area and perimeter of figures on a coordinate grid. This is on page 26. This is a fun brain teaser. If you can figure it out, show it to me and I'll give you some extra credit. But you have to be right. This was your homework from last class. Let's go ahead and work that out. So this one is one of those where you had to draw the picture, you had an end point and a midpoint. And then you should have seen that this goes down 7 and this goes down 1. And so the new coordinate would be at -10, 4. All right. To find the distance from A to B, you can make your right triangle here, which is 1, and this is 5. So it'll be 5 squared plus 1 squared, which is the square root of 26. From B to C, it's the same, square root of 26. And then from C to A, that's from here to here, it's 4 by 4. So it'll be 4 squared plus 4 squared, which is the square root of 32. Now a pair of congruent segments is AB is equal to BC. And actually, in the next unit, we can mark these like this. They're congruent to each other. And that's actually what we're going to call an isosceles triangle. And for number 8, it says use the distance formula, or I put a grid there if you want it. And this one should be 3 squared plus 4 squared, which equals 25. So it's the square root of 25, which is 5. And then number 9 isn't showing up on here, but number 9, the answer is the square root of 117, which is approximately 10.82.
Mr. Smith, please dial the main office. Mr. Smith, please dial the main office.
So this is page 25. The answer is to page 20. I think she was supposed to say Smythe, but it is what it is. All right, moving forward. All right, we're not going to do this. We're going to move on to here. So our key concept for today is perimeter, circumference, and area. We're going to learn circumference, which is the distance around a circle, and we talk about circles. So right now we're just basically focusing on squares, triangles, and rectangles. And so please remember that the perimeter is when you add up the sides going around a shape, and the area is when you multiply length times width. So here are the formulas we're going to look at. And there is a practice activity. You'll have to see me. You're going to take turns identifying the base and the height, and then switching roles in triangles. All right, so let's look at the notes for today. And at this point, Should be on page 27 in our packet. So there are several steps. The first step is you're going to graph the points and label them. So this is A, B, C, D. So I want to find the area and perimeter of the shape. And what you should notice is that I have all diagonal lines, okay? So the first thing I'm going to have to do is find the length of the sides. But what's cool is that it's a rectangle. And so because it's a rectangle, I know these sides are the same. So this has 1 by 3. So this would be 1 squared plus 3 squared, which is the square root of 10. So this is also the square root of 10, which is approximately 3.16, which is approximately 3.16. Now over here, this is up 6 over 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is 1, 2. And this should also be over 2 up 6. So this is 6 squared plus 2 squared, which equals the square root of 40, which is 6.32. So this is also 6.32. So check, I found the length of the sides. And you should have room on your paper to write them down. So now the perimeter would just be to add up all those sides. So to calculate the perimeter, let's do this in green. I would add 6.32 plus 6.32 plus 3.16 plus 3.16. And you should end up with approximately 18.96. And again, you can have some leeway. It doesn't have to be exact. And if I want to calculate the area, I'm just going to multiply the short side by the long side. So 3.16 times 6.32. And you end up with 19.97. And then I'm looking at the line AB, which is right here. And I want to find the middle point. Well, it looks like the midpoint might be right there. But how do we do this? Well, I need the coordinates for A, which are -3, -4. And I need the coordinates for B, -1, 2. And my midpoint formula, remember, is x plus x divided by 2, y plus y divided by 2. -3 plus -1 divided by 2. This is x, x, comma, -4 plus 2. So where do I end up? This is -4 divided by 2, which is -2. -4 plus 2 equals -2 divided by 2, which equals -1. So I should end up at -2, -1. And let's see. Let's go back to the picture and see if that makes sense. -2, -1. That's exactly where I predicted my midpoint to be. Right, now I've modeled a problem for you. Go ahead and try the second problem on your own. This one right here. So those are rectangles. Now let's look at how we would find the perimeter and area of a triangle. Well, what's beautiful about this triangle is that 2 of the sides, I just simply count. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this side is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So to find the length of this side, it's just going to be 6 squared plus 8 squared, which equals 100. The square root of 100 is 10. So I know this side is 10. Now if I want the perimeter, it's just going to be perimeter equals 8 plus 6 plus 10. which is 24. I'm sorry, yeah, 24. Say we wanted to find the area of this triangle. Well, the formula for area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So you would just use the 6 and the 8 because the 6 is the base, the 8 is the height. So area would equal 1/2 8 times 6, which actually you end up with the same thing, which is 24. Because 8 times 6 is 48 divided by 2. All right, you do the next one on your own. Graph each figure on the coordinate plane, find the perimeter and the area. Don't forget the triangle area is 1/2 base times height. This is your practice, so you are expected to finish this for today. And this is on page, this is on page 28. When you finish all that, you should be caught up on all your missing Khan Academy assignments. So we had some assigned under Intro to Euclidean Geometry and Analytic Geometry. Once again, I can show you how to do that. If you go to Khan Academy, right now I'm on Analytic Geometry, but I'm going to go back to the high school. Under Geometry Foundations, that's where you find Euclidean Geometry. Okay? And pretty much how to do all of these. If you go back, you'll see Analytic Geometry down here, the bottom, and you should notice that you had to do just the first 2 pieces.